James really wanted to see Vedra. We never got round to it. Told him you can see it from the boat, which you can, but he's now gone for a poo, so he's missing it. Can't really see it very well anyway. Now, about 5.5 hours on the ferry, just over 5 hours. Had a nice sleep, a swim and a beer. James is inside somewhere, absolutely cabbaged from last night. He's probably just in a ball somewhere, just like gibbering and shaking, like dribbling. So I'll have to go and dig him up in a minute. We're just getting into Valencia now, then we'll get on the road to Lesbos. This is what you get on a ferry these days to buy. So, dog muzzles, kongs, quinoa dog food. James has got his carrots.
3 carrots.
He's had for nearly 2 weeks
3
in
carrots.
a hot bag, all the way through France and Spain, and he's now going to eat them. And then he's probably going to die. Spent a lot of time at these places on this trip.
Crazy bet on me. Back mid scroll, Armageddon arcane. Walking the cowgirls and numberless jazz. We're feeling just fine in our running hats. Walking a while, walking a while. I don't know why. I don't mind the hustle and the tussle. I don't mind the grind. I don't mind pretending we don't see these signs.
And breathe, and breathe. Where are we, mate?
We're at our destination. We've made it.
Destination
We've driven
unknown.
north of England to the south of England, south of England to the north of France, north of France to the middle of France, middle of France to another part of the middle of France, middle of France
And then we had a swim.
to the French Riviera on the south of France, south of France to northern Spain to Tossa de Mar, Tossa de Mar to Barcelona, Barcelona to Ibiza, 5 days in 4 locations on Ibiza, and today, finally, Ibiza to Javier through Valencia.
That marks the end of the road trip.
It's been a 2-week
Yeah,
epic
2-week epic journey.
journey.
It's been good, man.
It's been brilliant.
Right, have a quick look round the van.
After 2 weeks on the road, we've made it to our destination just outside of Valencia. We've driven from northern England to the south of France, to northern Spain, to Ibiza, now back to Valencia. Ready? After 2 weeks on the road, we've made it to Valencia. We've come from northern England to the south of France, to the north of Spain, to Ibiza, now to Valencia. We did it all in this van. We slept in it every single night. It's a Mitsubishi Delica, modded by Brian. It's got a lot of attention, by the way, this van. Everyone loves it. So let's have a little tour. 2 fully grown men living in here every single day for 2 weeks. Nice and clean, as you can see. We have enough equipment to invade a small country. And I want to show you how the beds work, because I find this fascinating. Okay? This goes back. These go back. This is a bit of a rush job. This goes forward. This comes off. This goes down. Same on the other side. Airbed comes out. And that's your bed. That's how we've slept every night for 2 weeks. And slept surprisingly well, I would say. And it's been a pleasure.
So as you can see, we've been living like absolute animals for 2 weeks. The van is covered in dust. James's footmarks, James's shoes, James's hat and towel, more of James's shoes, James's shorts, another one of James's shoes. That's my bag. James's carrots. Let's have a look at the carrots. See how the carrots are doing? The carrots look absolutely just delicious, succulent and inviting. The volleyball, we've got so much use out of the volleyball. If we go around the back, this is the kitchen area here where we've had all of our pots and pans. Obviously we've had our bags and pillows and stuff stacked up here.
Should we show how the beds work?
Yeah. The water container which was filled up in England in Widnes, and then filled up once in France, and since then has not been filled up. Blankets to make the bed level. Our power source. You know, this thing has been an absolute godsend. The Jackery. And in here, let me see if I can put the light on. There we go. Ah, that's better. So what else have we had up here? I've put the fans away. We had some good fans to keep us nice and cool. That was our light. All of our crap at the back there. This was my big cool box that we just basically didn't use, and we just put tins in it. And if we go around the back here, the guitar, 2 strings broke.
Most useful item of the whole trip.
We've barely played with the guitar. In addition, well, we haven't played with the guitar, and we haven't played with the volleyball.
€10 that volleyball. It's a nice one though.
It's a nice volleyball. What else have we got? Bits of kitchen. Yeah, there's our what's it called? I can't even think. I'm so tired. What's that called? Washing up bowl.
The water jug.
This has been our kitchen area with our pots and pans, our scrubbing brush, pans, cookers, bowls, and this thing has been a godsend. This has been our power source for the whole trip, and it's been bloody good actually. It's charged everything up. In this cupboard,
Set my hair straight.
set the hair straighteners, so all the electrical goods and extra gas and stuff like that, most of which didn't get used. And down underneath there's another little cupboard. I don't even know what's in that one, bottom one. Other electrical items, I think, fans, stuff like that. So yeah, this has been home. You want to see the bed?
Let's demonstrate the bed. Alright. So, we've slept in here. I don't know if you made that clear.
We have slept in here.
Every night for 2 weeks. Every night, right next to each other.
And it's not even a converted van. It's basically an 8-seater.
So let's show you how we slept in here. You could probably show it better than me.
Okay.
Well, I'll hold the camera.
Okay. So, first thing you have to do is just move all of the shit out of the way, because it's completely covered in shit. Okay, we have our buddy seat here, which is James's bed, which we fold down, fold up. Oopsie. Move all these down forward, and then there's stuff in the way at the minute, right? But then these seats will fold down flat, basically. Okay.
And these front seats.
And then these front seats do the same. Again.
Forward.
Again, the van is basically just a bin at this point, a bin on wheels. So you have to move some stuff out of the way. Take the headrest off, just let that collapse. And then that also folds down to make a flat surface. So what we've been doing to try to, you know, counteract the contours is use some mats. You
That's
know,
the most knackered mat.
James has had an issue with this, as you have seen in the previous clip.
Still slept on it every day.
Put the mats down there, couple of pillars. Put the silvers up to keep the sun out and keep the privacy in.
Turn the fans on.
Turn the fans on. Job done. That's been home for 2 weeks.
Every night for 2 weeks.
I'm a bit sad. No, we're not going to sleep in it.
Yeah. Surprisingly comfortable. Like, more comfortable than it looks.
It has been comfortable. I've had good night's sleep.
I've slept. First couple of nights were a bit rough, and then I got used to it, and I've slept well.
So that's home.
That's how you sleep in a Delica.
Looking forward to a bed tonight, right? Today is cleaning day. It's very dusty and very dirty. The van's now emptied. You can see how dirty it is. It's going to be quite cathartic cleaning this today. God knows what that is. Absolutely rotten.
Two men, one van. I wake up in a pool of my own sweat, head pounding, thirst tearing at my throat, barely able to breathe. Hangovers in vans are something else. This particular van is located in the 40-degree midday sun of an Ibiza car park, and for the privilege of this particular hangover, we've each just spent over €300. The night ended at 7 a.m. with me drunkenly defecating in a bush and getting a bit of my own poo on my hands. Unfortunately, we'd run out of water, so there was nothing to wash it off with, or drink, before climbing into the van for 5 hours of sleep. There's still nothing to drink, and I feel like dried blood is glued behind my eyeballs. Welcome, my friends, to van life. The plan was simple. Drive from Widnes, UK to Ibiza in a big black van with one of my best mates. Time allotted, 2 weeks. Accommodation, sleep in van. Visit new places, get in adventures. Boom! I've never done a proper camper van trip before. Brian, on the other hand, is a seasoned, battle-hardened van-for-lifer. He's been making sweet love to vans since before you were supping on your mama's teat. He even has an Instagram page just for his van. The van in question is a Mitsubishi Delica, modded by Brian to look like a military vehicle used by a rebel insurgency group in Syria. Mods include a snorkel, so the engine can function underwater, lights on the roof that are visible from orbit, and massive raised all-terrain wheels. It's a very cool van. We set off from Widnes on a rainy July morning wearing Union Jack bandanas. The English summer is a phenomenon that never fails to amaze me. It feels like a sadistic test of character that every Brit is forced to endure on loop. It's exactly the same as English winter, i.e. 9 to 15 degrees, 40 mile per hour wind, rain at least once a day, except at some point between May and September, you have no idea when, you get one brutal week of burning hot sunshine that breaks heat records and melts roads. This is usually accompanied by multiple reports of people dying from heat stroke on the news. Despite being suitable for conducting warfare, the van has no beds. Instead, we put all the seats flat and stick airbeds on top. Actually better than it sounds, although this first night I couldn't sleep at all, and would use sleeping pills to get me through the next couple. We watched the final of the Euros on a laptop in a pub car park under the White Cliffs of Dover, while eating surprisingly delicious tinned curry. We then went for a walk along the cliffs in the dark, and for a hairy 20 minutes got genuinely lost. Ferry to Calais. Bandanas still on, knackered but spirits high. Weather in France, terrible. The original plan had been to drive down the west coast and across the Pyrenees for a few days before ejecting into northern Spain. After 2 hours in the French rain, we decide to fudge off this plan entirely and get to the Mediterranean ASAP. We'll just drive directly down through the middle of France. Turns out France is pretty big. Something I had never considered about a long-distance driving trip is quite how much driving would be involved. Granted, we were on a schedule and couldn't just stop willy-nilly, but my word, after 10 hours on a French highway, you're sure you should be in Asia by now. Nope. In fact, you're not even a third of the way through France. A third. Never again will I underestimate the size of European countries based on how tiny they look on maps. Parking and sleeping was another aspect I had never really considered. I'd assumed that we would be opening the van door every morning to beautiful mountain vistas and ocean views, with cartoon forest animals singing songs as we milked a friendly cow. The reality? Car parks. Turns out it's pretty hard to find those perfect spots on isolated beaches. You rock up in towns you've never heard of and are like, where the fuck are we going to park? All the campsites are full, and overnight parking is not allowed in the town centre. This is rather stressful. Let's follow this road. Oh look, a free space in a car park. Take it now! Second night, we spotted a large lake on the map in the middle of absolutely nowhere and aimed straight for it. We found an empty car park next to the shore, pulled up and jumped into the lake. A storm was incoming, the sky was threatening, and the water cool, dark and choppy. It was a beautiful, liberating moment in the wilderness. Dinner, noodles, tuna, sweet corn, Brian's homemade spicy sauce. Fantastic. 10 more hours on the highway. Still in France. Not even in the south yet. My God, this country is big. We stumbled upon a gorgeous little town in the Rhone Valley called Pont-en-Royans and parked up in a little camping area next to the river. It was much warmer now. We felt the beckoning call of southern Europe. We got out fairy lights and made the area around the van look like a beach bar while we munched down on corned beef and instant mashed potatoes. We also heard wild wolves howling in the woods around the town, which was unnerving but beautiful. It was here that I started noticing how ludicrously attractive the French people are. Not just physically, but culturally, stylistically, spiritually. The mysterious smiles, the warmth and playfulness they emanate. I kept bumping into girls I would have married on the spot. I live in Prague, which is not exactly known for unattractive people. However, this was another level. Multiple locales around the world are noticeable for this phenomenon, and it always opens up a multitude of questions in my mind. What is it about these places? Nature versus nurture? Would these same people be so attractive if they were brought up in, say, Scotland? How does attraction even work? Très bien, France. Très bien. Finally, we made it to Saint-Tropez. After hours of calling every campsite in the area en route, we snagged the very last spot in the entire municipality by the skin of our teeth. Beach and beer was in order. We spent 2 nights here and went out partying in Saint-Tropez looking at the epic yachts and beautiful people. But for me, the most interesting part was actually the mini-verse of the campsite and the culture around it. On our campsite, there must have been over 1,000 camper vans, some of which were better equipped than most hotels. There were families running around everywhere, large dudes proudly sitting next to their vans drinking beer, kids carrying piles of washing and dirty dishes, just thousands and thousands of people spending their summer living out of a van. I had no idea it was such a phenomenon. With heroic hangovers, we drove 5 hours to the Spanish border and actually managed to find a vast empty beach where we parked and just swam as the sun was setting. We had the entire playa to ourselves under a perfect full moon, almost as bright as daylight. We sat late into the night with a candle and speakers listening to folk music and the soft ocean, bathed in silver moonlight. Spain. Tossa de Mar is the bomb. Medieval town on a beach with amazing castle, miles of windy cobbled streets, awesome shops, galleries, fresh seafood everywhere, and fantastic diving right off the beach due to the deep clear water. We managed to snag a parking spot on a hill just outside the town centre. Winner! We immediately went for beers in a beach bar and got talking to Pauline, a Belgian lady who kept glancing over and laughing at us. After several beers as the sun was setting, reasonably drunk, we jumped in the sea. We then washed ourselves in a public toilet before heading back to the van, adorning ourselves in our finest attire and going for dinner. We spent 2 nights in Tossa. A lot of snorkeling, beaching, beering and exploring was done. It truly is a gem of a town. A highlight for me was going out snorkeling together with Brian for a couple of hours, exploring the endless underwater caves and canyons that manifest just a few feet out from the waterline. We swam to a nearby island across a busy ferry channel, which was pretty edgy, but we survived to tell the tale. And then, just like that, we were back on the road for the next leg of our adventure. As I write this, I'm reminded of the feeling that this trip gave me. A sense of purpose, a sense of optimism, a sense of something new and exciting always being around the corner. I believe traveling like this can awaken a deep, primal part of the soul that we barely know exists in everyday mundanity. Sometimes you stay in a place only a day or two, but but you remember and feel connected to it like you were there for a month. It's completely addictive. Ibiza. Upon deciding to go to Ibiza, we had convinced ourselves that we would take a more holistic, grown-up approach to the island, taking in the stunning natural beauty and perhaps finding some local tribespeople to frolic naked atop a mountain with. We also knew deep in our souls what would really happen. Brian is an Ibiza veteran. I mean this in the truest sense of the word. He used to live on Ibiza. He loves Ibiza so much he came multiple times in the early 2000s, in his van, naturally, often for months at a time. This was when Ibiza was truly in its heyday, the undisputed clubbing, ecstasy-popping, party capital of the world. Naturally, therefore, I was more than willing to follow his lead. This was to be the apex of the trip. We'd been slowly building up to this for 10 days. We were pumped, we were primed, we were ready to party. We were somewhat surprised, therefore, to be surrounded by families and couples on a very tame beach on our first day. A beach that Brian assures me used to be absolutely hopping. No biggie though. We were knackered after the overnight ferry. We went into Ibiza town, which was extremely pleasant and has one of the best old towns I've ever seen, comparable to Saint-Tropez but much bigger. Nothing too crazy though. We slept in a car park, naturally. Day 2. No more fucking around. We're sexy adult men in Ibiza with some serious partying to get out of our systems. We're going to the heart of the action, Playa d'Ambossa. This beach is legendary. Loads of all-day, all-night clubs lining the ocean, spilling out free-spirited partygoers at all hours directly into the sea. And, to top it off, it's got the world's best nightclub right behind the beach, High, formerly Space. Brian went to Space multiple times back in the day and assures me there is just nothing like it. Almost a life-changing experience. Fatboy Slim is DJing tonight. Pumped! My spidey senses went off as soon as we pulled into the town. Just a distinct lack of vibe. Empty streets, no music anywhere, no groups of annoying Brits, no electricity in the air. Very quiet. It's lame. All of it. The beach is lined with overpriced restaurants, no clubs, and no partying in sight. Again, just families and couples. What is going on? Despite this clearly no longer being party central, we dutifully pounded beers anywhere we could find them, mostly in horrifically priced restaurants and pretentious pool bars. We got shit-faced throughout the day in preparation for Fatboy Slim and High. However, our frustration and misgivings were growing strong by the time the sun went down. Something was seriously amiss. We paid €80 each for our High tickets. I can honestly say the money would have been better spent wiping the bumhole of a stray dog. They searched us so thoroughly for drugs as we went in, I genuinely wondered if drugs are even still a thing in Ibiza. After which, we realized our only option for brain-altering substances was going to be tiny beers, 250 milliliters, that cost €17 a pop. As for the club itself, I've had better clubbing experiences in my hometown of Cockermouth, population 8,000. There was just nothing interesting, unique, or fun about it. It was overflowing with very sober, serious, and pretentious people, most of whom were staring at their phones. The only other notable aspect was that the main room was so full we couldn't get in, and we spent most of the night in the corridors by the toilet. This was very much the vibe of Ibiza in 2024. The island itself is stunningly beautiful, and there are some very cool pockets. The next day we went to a hippie beach and danced by a fire to bongos before swimming naked in the dark. Brian assures me, however, that it is nothing whatsoever like it used to be. That said, we did manage to squeeze out one pretty wild party. 2 days after the High disaster, we were recovered enough for another big push. We decided to pay €45 to get into a daytime pool party at Ocean Beach. I believe here we may have found a touch of the old Ibiza magic. It was pure carnage. About 3,000 almost naked people getting wasted in a massive outdoor swimming pool for 8 hours, with old-school Ibiza club anthems pumping. There was a giant inflatable dragon ridden by a transgender dancer. There were enormous 30-foot circus poles with girls atop, swaying back and forth over the crowd, handing people drinks and taking their phones for a ride. There was a literal moving boat with dancers and fireworks serving vodka. The atmosphere was wild, free, and insanely good fun. Unfortunately, I got carried out by 4 bouncers right at the end and thrown onto the street. I somehow started wrestling one of them, and before I knew it, I was on my back. My memory of it is extremely hazy, but it was quite a terrifying moment, and I'm lucky they didn't kill me. Overall, despite Ibiza being nothing like Ibiza, the trip was epic. It was a simple story of two longtime bros going on an adventure and just being bros. There are so many details, sordid deeds, strange coincidences, hilarious conversations, and just brilliant moments on this trip that I could never write them all down in a million years. For me, that's what the trip was really about. While writing this, I genuinely was not sure what aspects to focus on, so I've tried to give a combination of the overall journey mixed with some of the big events and my personal observations. But what really made this trip for me was the uncountable small details that held the big things together. Like the growing sense of excitement as we felt the climate slowly change from northern European rain to the Mediterranean as we headed south, or going for a morning run in the sun next to a mountain river before swimming in it. Okay, Brian swam, I was too much of a pussy because it was cold liquid nitrogen. Or pulling into Tossa de Mar and just going straight to get drunk at a perfect little beach bar, having majestic conversation for 3 hours before jumping in the sea, washing in a toilet and then going out on the town, or snorkeling straight off the beach into vast underwater canyons and swimming out a little too far to an island off the beach. My sleeping mat melting in the sun in Saint-Tropez and developing a bulge the size of a dinosaur egg that kept getting bigger every night. Finding a perfect little bush to defecate in while oblivious people walked past. Jumping into a French lake in the middle of a storm. Sleeping spontaneously on a vast, empty Spanish beach. Listening to the audiobook of Sphere. Taking turns at having some alone time in the van. Laughing like hyenas about evolving jokes I can't remember. Driving around French pharmacies in the rain hunting for sleeping pills. Walking through a terrifying forest in the pitch black night. Not knowing where we're going to sleep every night, being somewhere different every day and feeling almost completely free. And most of all, just going through all of it with a motherfucking bro that I've been friends with for almost 20 years, and who makes me laugh more than almost any other human on earth. I got really good at using nature as a bathroom on this trip. I learned the proper way to squat, much lower than you'd think. And I also learned how to wash my hair in disabled toilets, and I want to do it again. And I think that's about all I've got to say on the subject for now.
Oh, it's so good. Life is just a mukbang. You don't wanna be low on the food chain. Life is just a mukbang. Bang, bang, bang.
Spicy fish noodles. James and Mariah rubbing the knob fish. There it is, the little boy's knob.
Give it a good rub.
Lick it.
I believe I have my own piss in my hair right now.
Say hello.
Salam alaikum salam. Where are you from?
Do you have ecstasy? Do you have ecstasy?
Sisa.
James practicing his sex moves. Okay.
She likes me. She
Okay.
likes me. Definitely likes me.
Sorry, I literally fucking
I bought 15
still
pounds worth.
fingered you out. Sorry about that.
Yeah, you want, do you know?
Bordeaux.
I emptied my bowels first. I'd already partially relieved my bowels in my pants. And it went everywhere. Absolutely everywhere.
Where are we, Brian? Oh, fuck off. I'm not filming this.
Here's James pissing in the bin. The fucking bin they've decided to put over my vodka time capsule.
Hey! I'm not allowed! You're narcissistic cunt!
James is angry now. He's at that point where he's beyond reason.
To the reverse.
Brian.
Just sat on a bin. Is this A roll or B roll?
C-roll.
It's fucking H roll.